thing had happened just recently. I was friends with this girl, Emma. At first we were fine, but then she started to annoy me terribly. At some point I couldn't stand her anymore. I came up with some reason to make her feel guilty and left her. It worked, and I got rid of the annoying girl. But now I remember that Emma was into all sorts of magical things. She probably figured out a way to get back at me. The next day, I shared my suspicions with Mason, but he just laughed and said it couldn't be. "Jeff, you're crazy. Magic and curses don't exist," he laughed. I felt a little ashamed that I had even spoken to him about it. Once again, I decided to ignore the strange spots. But a week later, the spots were growing. And the worst thing was that now they appeared on my face. I couldn't bear to show up at school anymore. People pointed at me and laughed behind my back. I couldn't stand it any longer, and I had to believe I was cursed. I had to break it right away before all my skin got wrinkled. I found Emma. I felt extremely uncomfortable, but I still decided to stoop to the point of asking her for forgiveness. "Emma, I can't deal with this anymore. Please break your curse," I said. But the girl just laughed and said that it was not enough. Forgiveness must be earned. Oh man, how mean she was. I did the right thing when I left her. Emma said that after that I had to do her homework and run some errands for her. It was humiliating, but I didn't want to look like that, and I agreed to her demands. Well, from that day on, my life was hell. After school, I would rush Emma's home to wash her car or bring her groceries home. And then I had to do all of her homework, and it always was late into the night. But I believed that after all this, she would undo her curse and I would be normal again. One day, I was carrying huge bags for Emma when I met Mason. He asked me what I was doing, and I had to admit that I was trying to get rid of Emma's curse. He laughed at me and said that I was just stupid for falling for such a thing. And then I couldn't stand it. I told Mason that he had always been jealous of me, and now that he'd had the chance, he had decided to get back at me. That's not what friends do, and I didn't want to see him again. I took the bags and walked on. It's alright. I would find a new friend. So I literally worked for Emma for a couple of weeks and kept waiting for her to calm down and give me my appearance back. But the spots on my body were getting bigger and bigger. All my skin was already covered with them completely. I hid behind my clothes and was wearing a cap with a large bill, but it was getting harder and harder. And then, one day, my mother finally saw what was happening to me. She was horrified and said that she would call the doctors immediately. I tried to explain to her that it was a curse and would be gone soon, but she wouldn't listen to me, and when I went to my room, she locked the door. "Mom, open up! What are you doing?" I asked, startled. But my mother said she knew how I felt about doctors and locked me up so that I wouldn't run away before they arrived. She was so mean. I got mad at her. I started shouting that she didn't love me and that I was sorry that my parents were so cruel. It must have been very unpleasant for her to hear this at that moment, but I felt so offended and said a lot of rude things I should not have said. She left, and I was a mess. I was awaiting the doctors to come, and I would be done. Without thinking, I climbed out the window and rushed away. I was desperate, and I didn't know where to go. I had a fight with Mason, and I didn't think he liked to see me now. I couldn't go back home either. All I could do was begging Emma to forgive me and break the curse. When I went to her, she laughed at me and revealed that she hadn't done anything to me. There is no such thing as a curse because these are just fairy tales for children. "So you tricked me into serving you?" Emma replied that I had deceived myself and that she was just trying to get back at me for what I had done to her. "Don't you get it yet, Jeffrey? You are a very bad person, and the people around you suffer. And there's nothing more I can do for you," Emma told me and slammed the door in my face. I just couldn't believe what had just happened to me. So Mason was right, and there was no curse. Was I really sick, and would I stay like this forever? I was done. I decided to turn myself in and go to the doctor. The next day, I was already in the hospital and passed all the tests. I was so scared, but I was even more afraid that I would stay in this condition forever. When the results were ready, the chief physician came into my room. He was rigid and finally said that he had bad news. I had a very rare disease, the name of which I never learn and always forget. But you can cure me, right? I asked hopefully. The doctor breathed out and said that it was too late. If I had come to the hospital when I had the first spots, there would still be a chance to fix everything. But now the disease has taken over my entire body, and it would be almost impossible to cope with. I don't want to upset you, but you'll probably have such skin for a long period of time, the doctor said. It was a terrible surprise for me. I couldn't believe such a thing could happen to me. The doctor left. I lay on the bed and just thought about what I should do next. I guess Emma was right. And I was a bad person. After all, I've offended so many people, and now I've got what I deserve. Only now did I realize that I wanted to fix everything. I want to believe if I become a better person, then I'll be cured. What do you think? Write your comments. Do I have any chances?